एस्ट्रोलॉजी में और लाइफ में। बहुत लोग कहते हैं कि मेरा नक्षत्र ये है, आई शुड बी रिच, माय नक्षत्र इज सो एंड सो, आई शुड बी सक्सेसफुल, फेमस। बट इज दैट रियली ट्रू?
जी
हाउ मेनी पीपल आर बोर्न, अगर हम जीरो इन करें, so there are so many 7 billion people and there are 27 nakshatras, so you're looking at close to, what is it, 30 million or 300 million people born in one nakshatra. तो क्या ऐसा क्या है कि 300 मिलियन लोग एक तरह के होते हैं, दूसरा? सो वील डिस्कस ऑल दोस थिंग्स, बेसिक एनालिसिस ऑफ एस्ट्रोलॉजी। चार्ट कैसे पढ़ेंगे हम, चार्ट क्यों बनती है, कैसे बनती है, एंड सो ऑन। दैट मेक
वेरी
सेंस?
इंटरेस्टिंग एब्सोल्युटली आई थिंक बहुत बेसिक चीजें हमें नहीं पता होती है एंड आई नो दिस शो इज ऑल अबाउट मेकिंग अस अंडरस्टैंड कि हमारे सितारे क्या कहते हैं एंड हाउ वेल वी कैन अंडरस्टैंड आवर ओन चार्ट्स सो लेट्स स्टार्ट
तो वील स्टार्ट विद बर्थ चार्ट क्या होती है, एंड
जी
बर्थ चार्ट की सिंबलिज्म क्या है, और ये बनती कैसे है, राइट? तो
यस
आई थिंक इन ऑल ऑफ दिस वी हैव टू अंडरस्टैंड कि बर्थ चार्ट के दो नाम होते हैं, राइट? एक होता है आपकी जन्म कुंडली, राइट? दैट इज वन नेम, एंड द सेकंड इज कॉल्ड द राशि चार्ट. Rashi chart is not as commonly used name, but the most common thing is Janam Kundli.
करेक्ट
Rashi, Janam Kundli, and birth chart are all the same thing. जब आप पैदा हुए हो, the exact position of the planets on that piece of paper represent your birth chart. No
राइट
two people have the same DNA. Identical नहीं हो सकता. No two people have the identical fingerprints. No two people also have the identical birth chart. अगर आप आर्ग्यू करके बोलो कि ट्विंस पैदा होते हैं सेम डेट, सेम सिटी एंड नियर अबाउट सेम टाइम, आर्ग्यूमेंट ये है कि दे आर नॉट बोर्न एट द एग्जैक्ट सेम टाइम. 2 मिनट का फर्क होता है, 5 मिनट का फर्क हो सकता है, एंड दैट मेक्स द डिविजनल चार्ट चेंज. यस, मेन चार्ट वैसी रहती है, बट डिविजनल चार्ट चेंज हो जाती है. वी विल गेट इनटू व्हाट डिविजनल चार्ट्स आल्सो आर. इतना याद रखिए कि कोई दो लोग ऐसे इंसान नहीं हो सकते, इम्पॉसिबल, हु हैव द सेम बर्थ चार्ट. ओके? There are two schools of thoughts. One is called Western astrology, and the other is called Vedic astrology. So you know what sun signs are. You open the newspaper and it says your horoscope for Scorpio is this. Your horoscope for Leo is this. Your horoscope for Virgo is so and so. And people use that. I kind of find it entertaining. अच्छा होता है, पढ़ के. But when you're reading that, what do you mean by you're a Scorpio? What does it mean कि you're a Pisces? In Western astrology, we use the tropical zodiac. Tropical zodiac में जहां भी आपका sun बैठा हो, that is given the most emphasis. So for me, I'm a Sagittarius, which means my sun is placed in Sagittarius. So I'm going to read the horoscope for Sagittarius. If I'm born somewhere in, March, I'm considered Aries. But in Vedic astrology, that is not the case. In Vedic astrology, we don't give that much emphasis जहां आपका sun बैठा है. We give most emphasis जहां आपका ascendant है. Then we give second most emphasis जहां आपका moon है. And third emphasis is given where your sun is. So your sun also, let's say I'm a Sagittarius, but in Vedic astrology I'm a Scorpio.
okay
जब Western astrology बनी थी, they did not take into account the tilt in the Earth's axis. They did not take into account the fact that the Earth goes around the Sun in an elliptical orbit. इसकी वजह से every 72 years there is a 1 degree difference in the Sun's orbit. We have to pull the Sun back 1 degree. Over 1700 years, ये जो Sun है हमने 23 degrees पीछे pull किया हुआ है. So if you think you're a Sagittarius, you may actually be a Scorpio. The best way to find out, go on the website, enter your date, place, time. वो कहेगा आपकी zodiac sign क्या है in Vedic astrology, and it is very different from Western astrology. It's
so
only
आप
possibility. Yes.
जी no so I was just asking that so is it different in all the cases because sometimes like I've heard that people have the same in both like in
It
Vedic
has,
and
your sun has to be pulled back 23 degrees. तो अगर आपका sun 30 degrees पे है तो वही sign में रहेगा. If
Okay.
it is all the way from 30 to 23 degrees in Western astrology, तो Eastern में भी same sign में ही रहेगा.
Hmm.
But if it is, let's say, 19 degrees in Western, now it
Hmm.
goes one side behind. So this is slightly confusing.
Right.
देखिए, sun represents your soul, vitality. It represents your energy level in your body. It is not as important as your mind. Mind is emotion. You need to control your mind. और उसके ऊपर होता है your soul, your spirit, which is your ascendant.
Hmm.
So coming back, in Vedic astrology, सबसे important होता है ascendant, followed by moon sign, followed by sun sign. In fact, if you want correlation in Vedic astrology, correlation, ये
Mhm.
guaranteed होगा, then we must look at the chart from the ascendant and the moon sign. तो अगर
Okay.
कोई आके कहता है कि marriage is not going good, there is a chance of split. So we have to look at the seventh house. But we should also look at seventh house from the moon. अगर वहां दोनों घर में हमको पता चलता है कि issue है, then it is almost convincingly saying yes, there will be an issue. So moon is always a secondary factor
Mhm.
which reconfirms what we are reading.
Okay.
Okay.
So now when
बहुत
we have, yeah, go ahead.
नहीं कहिए, what do you say?
No, I was just saying कि birth chart की हम बात कर रहे हैं तो I just wanted to take a moment to remind the listeners that I am asking the question. That does not mean that you don't have this opportunity. Reminding you once again, अगर आप कॉल करना चाहते हैं, if you have any quick question जो ऑन एयर आप पूछने में कंफर्टेबल हैं, अभी बात करना चाहते हैं डॉक्टर साकेत भाटिया से, तो कॉल कीजिए 5107701550. स्टूडियो लाइन का नंबर है. द लाइन्स आर ओपन नाउ. इफ यू हैव एनी क्वेश्चन अबाउट योर सेल्फ or any loved one, you have to be ready with the date, time, and place of birth in the correct order when you are asking your question. And again, the studio line number is 510-770-1550. जी.
See, initially जब कुंडलियां बनती थी, astrologers would open a big book. तो बड़ी
Right.
किताब पे लिखा रहता था कि and then they would go back and see कि 1990 में या 2000 में जुपिटर कहाँ था, मून कहाँ था. It's called an emphasis. बड़ी सी किताब आती है annual.
Is
So
it
you have
the Panchang?
no, it is not Panchang, but it is kind of similar.
Okay.
You
Okay.
go
Yeah,
to a
because
library.
Panchang is of every year, I think. One
Yeah, correct.
complete year. Yeah.
So that's what I'm saying. You go for every specific year and it becomes a little tricky, ना?
Right.
पहले आपने जब पैदा हुए तभी की चार्ट बनानी है, फिर
Hmm.
आज के प्लैनेट की प्लेसमेंट क्या है, फिर इफ यू वांट टू कोरिलेट कि 5 साल पहले क्या हो, उसकी चार्ट बनानी पड़ती है. देन यू हैव टू ओवरलैप ऑल द थ्री टुगेदर.
Mm-hmm.
दीज डेज वी यूज सॉफ्टवेयर
Right.
एंड द ब्यूटी ऑफ सॉफ्टवेयर इज इट्स वेरी एक्यूरेट. एरर नहीं होता सॉफ्टवेयर में. बर्थ चार्ट विच यूज टू टेक एन एस्ट्रोलॉजर, आई वुड से अबाउट 2 to 3 hours to make
Hmm.
with 90% accuracy can now be 100% made with a software accurately in less than 2 seconds. I like that. This is very good for us. देखिए जो database है, NASA gives all the planetary placements. If you go on their website, they tell you so and so date, so and so time, ये degree पे था. So this is why astrology is becoming more and more powerful and more accurate because we have that information. Uh, पुराने जमाने में we used to say कि शनि अपने से 3, 7, 10 घर दूर देखता है. And then we would just say, this is the house. But that's not really the case. It doesn't look 3, 7, and 10 houses. He looks degrees away. So 3 houses is really, 90 degrees away. So you have to see, अगर कोई planet 100 degrees पे बैठा है, उस पे असर ज़्यादा नहीं पड़ता है as compared to 90. So it would be wrong to say कि
Mm-hmm.
Shani is aspecting that planet completely. So there are so many different mechanisms which the modern era has enabled, जो astrologers को help करता है. Another thing I want to say is components of astrology. Right? कि अगर हम चार्ट तो बना लें,
जी.
इसके components क्या होते हैं? What, in my opinion, would be critical components? And the critical components जो सबसे 4 important होते हैं, they are first the ग्रह. हमने एक शो में कहा था ग्रह means to grab.
Hmm.
Planets, they are important.
Yeah.
When people come to meet me, they look at their kundli because I show them your kundli. This is not black magic. हम कुंडली दिखा के बताते हैं कि ये हो रहा है, ये प्लेसमेंट ऐसी है. लोग डर जाते हैं, कहते हैं भाई हमारा तो घर खाली है. It is okay for a house to be empty because you have 12 houses and 9 planets. If a house is empty, it means nothing. If a house has too many planets, it means something, which means there are people who have immense wealth with empty houses. अगर घर का लॉर्ड अच्छा हो, उस पे एस्पेक्ट अच्छे हों और उसका जो प्लैनेट्स अगर कोई बैठा हो तो वो भी स्ट्रांग हो तो यू विल गेट वेल्थ. On the other hand, if there are bad planets sitting, they will actually destroy your wealth. So you have to make sure कि घर खाली हो कि भरा हो, it doesn't really matter. That is one aspect.
Hmm.
Second aspect is bhava, which means house. The house is also important. Bharaghar, and we've gone through this, Vedika.
Yeah.
How different houses represent different things in your life.
जी.
फिर राशि होती है. Rashi means heap. That's what Rashi really means. Heap
Okay.
में there are 12 zodiac signs, Aries through Pisces. And
Mm-hmm.
then finally we have the relationships between the planets. Just like humans can be friends and enemies, planets can also be friends and enemies. Mercury has only one enemy, Moon. Moon has no enemy. Moon treats Mercury as a friend. तो अगर Mercury Moon के साइन में बैठ जाए, he feels uncomfortable. But अगर Moon Mercury के साइन पे बैठ जाए, he feels comfortable. जो uncomfortable planet है, he will always feel a little problem in acting,
Mm-hmm.
right? So I think understanding the beauty of astrology is important.
Absolutely.
Modern, yes,
So I was just saying that we have a caller waiting. Can we quickly take one call?
sure, let's take.
Hello, you're on air with Dr. Bhatia.
Okay, thank you. Hello, Dr. Bhatia. Thank you for taking my call and thank you for your wonderful show. So, basically, I'm
Hi.
calling for my daughter.
Okay.
Yeah. So, Dr. Bhatia, her date of birth is May 6, 1997,
Okay.
and her place of birth is Pune, Maharashtra.
And time of birth?
And time of birth is 7:25 a.m.
Okay, 7:25 a.m. in Pune, Maharashtra, right?
Yes.
May 6, 1997.
Yeah.
And what is your question?
So my question is about her prospects of finding a life partner and eventually getting married. Do you see anything happening sometime soon?
So let's look at your daughter's chart. She's a Taurus ascendant. Taurus को हम वृषभ लगन कहते हैं, right? And her moon, which is जिससे राशि चार्ट बनती है, that is sitting in Aries. That is called मेष राशि. इनका नक्षत्र होता है अश्विनी नक्षत्र. But your question is primarily related to only one thing, which is शादी होगी, नहीं होगी, कब होगी या कैसे होगी. For that we focus on seventh house. Seventh house का lord है Mars. Okay. इस कुंडली में Mars happens to be sitting in neutral dignity. Means उसकी strength normal है. उसकी सद्बला भी अच्छी खासी है. Then why is she not getting married? We'll go back and see कि किसकी दशा चल रही है. अब दशा चल रही है मून की. मून दशा में शादी नहीं हो सकती because moon is sitting in the 12th house. The next window for getting married actually opens in moon Mars dasha. And Mars dasha is coming in March of 2025. March 2025 through October 2025 is a good time for your daughter to find a potential partner. Then your daughter goes through moon Rahu dasha. Rahu भी अपनी चार्ट में बैठा है, which is October 2025 to 27. So looking at her Navam's chart also, I can safely say she should be married anytime after October 2025 and before May of 2027. So forget the March time frame. October 25 to March 2027 is a good time for your daughter to get married and find the partner. Okay?
Oh, yeah, sounds good. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much for your call. If you have further questions, you can connect with Dr. Bhatia directly by calling 408-639-5300. And to all the listeners listening to us right now, the Saket Bhatia Astrology show सुन रहे हैं आप Radio Zindagi पर. And if you have any question, you can call us. We have around 35 more minutes in this show. 510-770-1550 is the studio line number. We have another caller. Let's quickly take a call again.
Sure.
Hello, you're on air with Dr. Saket Bhatia.
क्या मुझे अपने हस्बैंड के लिए पूछना है, उनका जॉब कब लगेगा? उनकी डेट ऑफ बर्थ है April 2nd, 1965.
Oh, just a
And
little
time
slow.
is
April 2nd, 1965. Okay.
1965. And time is 11:08 in the morning.
Okay.
And place is Kota, Rajasthan.
Rajasthan. Okay. And your question is job related ki job kab lagegi?
Yeah, he started one company with my daughter, but yeah, he's looking for job too.
So he started a company, right?
Yes, my daughter started a company to take in his services. So, but he's still looking for job also. So what should he do? Like he should concentrate on his company or look for job?
He should concentrate on his company. Don't look for job. ये तो बहुत इजी था ये कुंडली में. In his 10th house,
हाँ?
he has इनके 10th जो 10वां घर है, जो करियर का घर है, उसमें मर्क्यूरी, मून, सन एंड वीनस बैठा है. और अब राहु भी बैठ गया उसमें ट्रांजिट में. Don't work for somebody. Continue in your company. It's time to grow has not even come yet. You have to wait. Wait till middle of next year. It will do better. Because Venus इस घर में exalted होता है, Mercury इस घर में debilitated. तो cancellation हो जाता है. नवम चार्ट में भी Mercury debilitated है, तो you'll have to put unusually large amount of effort. But I think looking at this kundli, it is not a kundli of working. It is a kundli of the business. So stick with the business. It will be better for you.
Okay, stick to the business.
Stick to the business.
Okay. Okay, no. ठीक है. Thank you.
Sometimes it makes sense, to give some things a little longer, Vedika, just so you have to. It's not the word struggle, but it's like give extra effort to something in order for it to success. Be successful.
But
लोगों
in
की
this
कुंडली जब
case,
देखते
जी,
हैं, people sometimes work and then they get little tired. They get, what is the right word? They get anxious कि सक्सेस नहीं आ रहा. बट जब टाइम ही नहीं आया तो सक्सेस कहाँ से आएगा? जब टाइम आएगा तभी सक्सेस मिलेगी ना आपको.
that's what I was about to say, that that's where we need to know what's the right time so that we don't get exhausted before it is our time to grow exponentially. So
You
listeners,
have
आप
to know
connect
what's your right time.
कर सकते हैं जी डॉक्टर साकेत भाटिया के साथ if you have any questions and things don't have to be going the wrong way or any difficult situation. आप normal time में भी, as he always suggests, that you should know what is coming for you and how can you utilize it better. उसके लिए you have to be aware of things coming your way. So do connect with him. info@saketbhatia.com email कर सकते हैं आप यहाँ पर, या saketbhatia.com वेबसाइट पर जा सकते हैं, और या डायरेक्ट कॉल कर सकते हैं 408-639-5300 पे. सो एज लाइक जो क्वेश्चंस हमें पूछते हैं लोग, द कॉलर्स, सो वी आस्क फॉर डेट, टाइम एंड प्लेस ऑफ बर्थ. What if somebody doesn't have time of birth? Because होता है ऐसा कई बार. We had couple of callers who didn't have the exact time. So
Right.
what happens in those cases?
So time is a very critical element in a birth chart, right? Without knowing time, it is not possible for any astrologer to give you the right answer. We are not. I'm not going to say we're not psychics, but we're not taking educated guesses here. We are trying to give you answers that are meaningful, that matter. हमें आपको वो बोलना है जो राइट है, ना जो आपको सुनना है, ना जो हमको बोलना है. If things are going to be good, they're going to be good. If things are going to be bad, they're going to be bad. We can't change that. So to answer your question, if anybody comes to meet me, for that matter, and let's say they want to go ahead and get their chart read, we take your time, but we also validate your time. Validation hoti hai by asking you certain questions. When did you immigrate here? When did you do your studies? When did you have kids? Now, let's say you don't have your time at all. In that case, we typically ask you for the following. Do you have any access to family members who can tell you कि you were born morning, afternoon, evening or night? Because क्या होता है जब आप पैदा होते हो, planets घर में बैठे हैं. 24 hours में those planets don't move. They stay in that house. Moon might move to a different house. बट बाकी प्लैनेट्स नहीं हिलते ना, उनकी डिग्री हिलती है. It is only the house which moves. So, if your sun is in Scorpio, it will be in Scorpio for that full day. If your Jupiter is in Pisces, it will be in Pisces for that day. तो हमें सिर्फ ये देखना है कि आपका ascendant क्या है और ascendant की डिग्री क्या है. That's why it takes us at a minimum about an hour to talk to you and figure out. And हमने पहले भी कहा है शो पे, we will be able to come within a 10-minute accuracy of what time you were born. Many a times अगर आपका टाइम 10-15 मिनट ऑफ भी हो, दशा थोड़ी बहुत चेंज हो जाती है. So we can still zero down, but it takes time. That's why when people call on this show and they don't have the time, बहुत मुश्किल हो जाता है हमारे लिए, क्योंकि हमारे पास 1 घंटा नहीं है to analyze somebody's chart, right? So
Right.
what हम typically क्या करते हैं, if you don't have your chart, we will create a noon chart. तो दिन के 12 बजे की चार्ट बना देंगे आपके लिए. And then we start asking questions and look at how those planets are moving. एक शो में हमने कारक की बात की थी, राइट? हमने ये भी कहा था कारक अपने घर में बैठता है, then it always gives problems to that living thing. So let's say you have moon in the 4th house, then we know difficulty with mother. Sun हो आपका 9th house में difficulty with father. Jupiter, 5th house में difficulty with children. Venus in or Jupiter in, let's say, 7th house, difficulty with spouse. These are things that we analyze. फिर आपको ऐसे बात पूछेंगे कि major life events क्या थी आपकी. And we also look at your physical appearance, honestly. Are you skinny? Are you dark skinned? Are you fair? How much hair you have on your head? What your body structure looks like? Are you wearing glasses? Because that gives us a better idea of your chart. And we'll ask you questions, digestion problem hai, any disease. So for example, if somebody comes and says, I have liver problem. Okay, हमें पता है कि this is impacted by Jupiter. Now Jupiter अगर छठे घर में बैठा है या छठे घर का मालिक है तो liver problem देता है. Heart problem है, it could be Sun, Moon, Mars. Cancer hai, it is definitely Saturn aspecting some body part. So that's how it starts. We have softwares now that help us with birth time rectification, where we can enter data and come closer to where you are. So to be very frank with you, birth time is not needed 100%, good to have. But even if you have it, we still have to go ahead and make our own analysis and judgment कि हम आपकी चार्ट ठीक से पढ़ रहे हैं और आपने गलत टाइम नहीं दिया. बहुत
जी.
बार हो जाता है कि somebody comes to the office and says I want an appointment, and the next thing you know is, oh, I give you a wrong time. It's not 7:15, it's actually 8:15, or it's 7:15 in the evening, and that throws us off completely, no?
Right.
Right?
So we have a couple of callers. There was one caller who wanted to take the question ka answer of air. So
Okay.
she was asking for her son, whose birth date is October 29th, 2006.
October 29th, 2006.
And he is born in Fremont, California.
October 29th, 2006. Okay.
And the birth time is 9:35 p.m.
9:35 p.m.
जी.
And question क्या था इनका?
इनका क्वेश्चन था कि the son is in high school applying for colleges and she wanted to know if he'll get his choice of college. I think he's preparing for aerospace engineering and he has really worked hard. So there was a mother calling to know.
So the mother said, again, let's verify October 29, 2006, 9:35 in Fremont, California.
जी.
So this is a boy's chart, right?
Yes, Assam.
So he wants to go for bachelor's or master's?
No, bachelor's. He's in high school, yeah.
Okay, so he's in high school. If we look at his chart, bachelor's हमेशा चौथे घर से दिखता है. ये जो कुंडली है, this is मिथुन लगन. Okay, and इनकी जो राशि है वो मकर राशि बनती है, which is Capricorn. The ascendant lord is very well placed in 6th house. जब कहते हैं जब first lord 6th में हो तो पूरी life will go very well in service. He's going to do a good job. The issue in this कुंडली is twofold. One, इनके 4th house जो education का घर है उसमें केतु बैठ गया.
Okay.
Ketu means he will dream, but he won't put that much effort towards that. So I'll come to that in a second. And then इनके जो 5th house है, which is masters, उसमें Mars, Sun, Venus बैठा है. That's excellent placement. Unfortunately, मार्स सन इस कुंडली में डिबिलिटेटेड हो जाता है। तो हम नवम्स चार्ट देखेंगे, विच इज द D9 चार्ट। D9 चार्ट में देयर इज जुपिटर राहु इन the fourth house. My suggestion is this kid needs to put a little more effort, because this is a classic example where taking 2 steps will get you 3 steps ahead. कभी कभी किसी की कुंडली में होता है कि if you put 2 steps you can rise higher than somebody else. That is what this chart has. Don't let this Ketu and Sun stop you. In fact, it will do better. Will he get into his choice of college? Yes, he will, but he's really going to have to work hard, because it's going to be difficult. It's going to be a struggle for this boy. It's a competitive field also, right? It's not an easy
Right.
field. So he has to work very hard at it, but yes, he should get the college he wants.
So I hope you were listening and you got your answer. If you have further questions, connect कीजिए Dr. Bhatia के साथ directly by calling 408-639-5300. Let's take another call.
Sure.
Hello, you're on air with Dr. Bhatia. Thanks for holding.
Hi. Are you getting the feedback?
The radio volume, yeah, you have to lower it a little more and then you can give out the details.
Yeah, I reduce it. And I have to give birth date, name, etc., right?
Date, place, and time.
Okay. A place is Baroda, India. 1:30 early morning on October 17, 59.
October 17th, 1959.
Yeah, it was 16, 17 early morning.
Okay, 1:30, October 17th, 1957 in Baroda. Okay. And what is your question?
Some issues going on. We have a new neighbor, 2 houses. They are unnecessarily claiming parking is for everybody, but they claim it's their property, etc. going on. So I don't know when it will get resolved. City is not helping much these days. They say resolve it in a civil manner, like they go to the court, etc.
So are you asking me this is a court? Yeah, exactly. It's a property issue that you're asking me.
Kind of parking related. They've been giving trouble. We had no problem before, because the city map is telling that parking sidewalk is everybody. They are ignoring that, and they say it's their property, etc.
So what is your specific question?
Will it get resolved quickly, or that's what the question?
Your question is, will it get resolved? Abhi, at this point of time, you have Ketu sitting in the house of third house from this kundli, Rahu sitting in ninth house.
Yeah.
दशा भी चल रही है सन मर्क्यूरी की, और इस कुंडली में मर्क्यूरी इज इट्स ओन हाउस, बट सन happens to be very close to debilitation. I don't think it gets resolved anytime soon.
What they say?
It doesn't look like, it doesn't seem to get resolved anytime soon, because sun की दशा है and sun is very weak in this कुंडली. Sun ज़्यादा ही weak है. Sun Mercury is not good. Sun Ketu is bad. Sun Venus is bad.
Okay.
Moon दशा में फिर भी कोई रेमेडी आ सकती है, but that is not happening all the way down till 2027.
2027?
उससे पहले कोई solution नहीं है. अगर होगा भी तो it's not going to be in your favor.
Okay. Thank you.
Okay.
Let's take another caller. Hello, you're on
Sure.
air with Dr. Saket Bhatia. Thank you for holding.
Yeah,
Yeah, go ahead with your
Yeah,
reading.
hi, how are you?
I'm fine, Dr. Bhatia. Thank you for asking. And how are you?
I'm doing very well.
Anyway.
Thank you.
Good. I'm 67 years old, and I was married and separated. It's been a long time, and
Okay.
I'm 67, and I'm working as a caregiver. I'm still very energetic, and I'm thinking to get married again or not. Now I'm okay. I can do everything. I cook myself. But after thinking, when I'm become much older, after 8-10 years. So do I need? I think about living partner. Shall I get married or not?
Okay. Let's do one thing. Give me your date, place, time of birth. नाम आप
Yeah.
मत दीजिए, but what is your date of birth?
Date of birth.
Yes.
Okay. जनवरी एग्जैक्टली मुझे 14 जनवरी है या 15 जनवरी ये महीना है आपका जनवरी अंग्रेजी में या पूस और माघ है ये जनवरी है तो 14 जनवरी और 15 है
Okay. Year क्या
तो
है?
मेरा जन्म हुआ जी
Which year are you born?
जी 1954 इन देहरादून
And time क्या है?
टाइम सुबह का वक्त है अर्ली मॉर्निंग बट एग्जैक्ट टाइम मुझे पता नहीं मुझे माता जी से पूछना पड़ेगा वो मैं रहता हूँ कैलिफोर्निया में वो अभी नेपाल में है तो सुबह का वक्त अर्ली मॉर्निंग
देखिए एस्ट्रोलॉजी में क्या है, हम कह सकते हैं कि पार्टनर मिलेगी नहीं मिलेगा, बट जब तक टोटल डिटेल नहीं हो, बिकॉज हमें डेट भी नहीं पता, इट कुड बी 14th, इट कुड बी 15, राइट?
या
तो इट इज नेक्स्ट टू इम्पॉसिबल फॉर अस टू गिव यू द आंसर। हमें नहीं पता कि आंसर क्या दे। देखिए ये लाइफ का मैटर होता है, दिस इज इम्पोर्टेंट। इफ यू आर कंफर्टेबल, इफ यू वांट, कम इनटू द ऑफिस, स्केड्यूल एन अपॉइंटमेंट, उससे हम बैठेंगे साथ में, वील लुक एट योर चार्ट, वील अंडरस्टैंड कि आगे जाके क्या होगा। इज लाइफ गोइंग टू गिव यू अ पार्टनर? इज इट गोइंग टू गिव यू मैरिज? इज इट गोइंग टू गिव यू द
वो
हैप्पीनेस
मेरा
यू वांट?
जी मेरा तो शादी हो चुका था बहुत साल पहले 1981 में तो आफ्टर 17 years वी सेपरेटेड तो सिंस
आई
देन
अंडरस्टैंड,
आई हैव
वो समझ गया मैं, आई अंडरस्टूड दैट, बट it is very difficult for actually it's not difficult, it's impossible for us to give an answer right now जब तक हमारे पास
जी मेरे
डेटा
पास
नहीं
वो
हो।
है ना मेरे पास वो है ना आपका वो जन्म कुंडली है मेरे पास
वो ले आओ, अगर
एग्जैक्ट
मिलना
टाइम
है
है
तो वो ले आओगे तो
कहाँ
उससे हम
मिलेंगे आपका ऑफिस कहाँ मिलेंगे
वी आर इन सेंटा क्लारा।
आप कॉल
ओके
कॉल कर सकते हैं फॉर द अपॉइंटमेंट। यू कैन कॉल 408-639-5300 और यू कैन विजिट द वेबसाइट saketbhatia.com। वहाँ पर आपको कॉन्टैक्ट इन्फॉर्मेशन मिल जाएगी। अगेन इट्स saketbhatia.com।
saketbhatia.com और फोन नंबर 408
639-5300।
639-5300
जी, थैंक यू
जी
सो
ओके जी
मच। So listeners, let me remind you, सुन रहे हैं आप द साकेत भाटिया एस्ट्रोलॉजी शो एंड वी आर लेफ्ट विद 15 more minutes in the show. If you still have any question, you can give us a call 510-770-1550 या आप डायरेक्टली कॉल कर सकते हैं 408-639-5300 पे to take an appointment and meet with Dr. Saket Bhatia. Dr. Saket Bhatia, who has a PhD in astrology and is a certified numerologist with over 25 years of experience and 12,000 plus satisfied clients, he combines the power of astrology and numerology to guide you through life's challenges. So do connect with him if you have any question, anything you want to discuss with him. Again, the number is 408-639-5300. And for a quick question, right now, the number is 510-770-1550. So we were talking about birth charts. Now let's talk about the divisional charts.
डिविजनल चार्ट्स की बात करते हैं।
जी,
So there are a total of 16 divisional charts, okay? The main जो कुंडली बनती है वो भी एक डिविजनल चार्ट ही है। We consider it to be a divisional chart. In fact, it is called the D1 chart. देखिए एस्ट्रोलॉजी में रूल है, no particular divisional chart can contradict the main chart. तो जो मेन चार्ट होती है that is considered to be the prime force chart, जो सबसे important होता है। So the question is, what is a divisional chart? Let's give you a clear-cut example. You're not feeling well. You go to a doctor. Doctor कहता है, let's do blood test, let's do urine test, and he's going to put a stethoscope, check you, thermometer डाल के, and then he's going to tap with a little device कि are your joints okay? This is the basic 4 tests जो करते हैं। इसके बाद रिपोर्ट्स आ गई। Now report, let's assume something looks a little nasty, वो बोलेंगे okay, थोड़े और ब्लड टेस्ट करने हैं। MRI करना है. So think of divisional chart just like that. A divisional chart जो होती है, they are zeroing in. हम एक एक लाइफ के एस्पेक्ट के पीछे जा रहे हैं. Each divisional chart takes into account other aspects which are not that visible in the chart. So for example, most popular divisional chart is called the Navam's chart. It's called the D9 chart. Why? Because ninth house is the most luckiest house. Spirituality का घर है, luck का घर है, religion का घर है, धर्म का घर है. तो उसकी we take that and we break that into 12 segments. Now we start understanding that chart in detail. तो अगर आपकी राशि में कोई planet है which is very strong but very weak in the Navam's chart, then a lot of the promise of that planet is lost. If a planet is very weak in the Rashi chart but very strong in the divisional chart, you have to put extra effort to get results. अगर planet दोनों chart में weak है, that's not going to help you. On the other hand, अगर दोनों charts में planet strong है, तो वो particular aspect बहुत easily जाएगा life में. But you have to understand what a strong and weak planet mean. They are not as good as, oh, मेरा Jupiter strong है in the 10th house, so I could be a leader. But look here, it is debilitated means I finished. I won't get a job. It doesn't work like that. I had an interesting person who started a company coming to me and said, I'm coming to you for the first time, but my Jupiter in my 10th house is exalted. Like in Navam's chart, mein, it is debilitated. But yet I started a business. I said, yes, but this debilitation doesn't mean you can't start. It means you're not a good manager. People don't appreciate you for who you are. So, हर एक चीज नहीं मिलती है, and divisional charts will lay that foundation for you. हमें divisional chart ऐसे ही पढ़नी है जैसे राशि चार्ट पढ़ते हैं, but
जी.
with a focus on a certain house, you know.
और डिविजनल चार्ट में कौन से प्लैनेट्स या हाउसेस इंपॉर्टेंट होते हैं?
So 16 divisional charts हैं, and in some charts some things are important. For example, अगर शादी देखनी है, हम 7th house देखेंगे. Then we will also go and check the D9th chart. D9th chart में we will look at the 9th house. 9th house का जो लॉर्ड है वो देखेंगे और 7th house लॉर्ड देखेंगे. अगर D10th house which is fame and success, reputation and career देखना है, then we will look at D10th chart, 10th house. अगर पैसे देखने हैं, we will look at the D2 chart. अगर भाइयों के साथ रिलेशन, भाई बहन के साथ रिलेशन देखने हैं, we will look at the D3 chart, 3rd house, the lord of the 3rd house. So it is जो चार्ट का नंबर है, typically we will look at that chart, we will look at that house, and we will look at the lord which runs that house. That is what we look at. We also look at combination of aspects, conjunction. Remember one thing, हमने last show में योग की बात की थी. Do you remember?
जी.
Divisional chart में योग नहीं बनते. There is no such thing.
Okay.
No yogs in divisional chart. In fact, divisional chart का simple rule है कि when we go ahead and analyze the Rashi chart, जो dignity Rashi chart में बनती है, that dignity has to be carried in the divisional chart. तो अगर Mercury moon के घर में बैठा है, is an enemy sign.
Right.
But let's say divisional chart में he is sitting in its own house, it is still considered to be weak. Enemy sign में बैठा है.
Okay.
Do not, for those people who like listening to astrology shows, जो पढ़ते हैं, याद रखना कि dignity राशि चार्ट से ही आती है. There is no concept of major exaltation, major debilitation. और ये भी एक concept है. काफी astrologers चार्ट देख के कहेंगे आपका Jupiter debilitated है, आपका Sun exalted है. Exaltation और debilitation की एक डिग्री होती है. If it hits that exact degree, only then it is debilitated. And हमारे career में I've almost never seen a planet at that exact degree. Almost never. So for you to go and say my Mercury is exalted is wrong. It is not. It is strong, but not exalted. वो degree आती ही नहीं किसी की. I mean, Einstein did not have a Mercury exalted. Yes, it was in that house, but exalted नहीं था. So think carefully. Astrology is tricky. It's tedious and it's very accurate, but analysis आना चाहिए उसका. Just जैसे डॉक्टर ब्लड देख के कहता है ये है और टेस्ट करने. Same with divisional charts. Divisional charts is a secondary factor. They will give you more information on life on that zone. Hora chart होती है जो D2 chart कहते हैं उसको. It tells you how much money you'll make. It also says the ease with which you will make money. तो पैसे आराम से आएंगे ये मुश्किल से आएंगे, अगर आएंगे भी तो फ्लक्चुएशन कितना होगा, बिकॉज आई हैव सीन चार्ट्स where people make a lot of money, then lose, then they make more, then they lose more, then they make more, then they lose more. That is all in the Hora chart.
तो
Before you can,
डिविजनल चार्ट को लाइक कैसे पढ़ते हैं? You have given some idea, but how do you analyze? There are so many things different from a regular chart. So how do you
no, you
read?
analyze the divisional chart the exact same way you analyze a regular chart. Same
Okay.
exact way. Same rules, same principles, except dignity. हर एक चीज सेम होती है. Think
Okay.
of the divisional chart. इसे हम हिंदी में वर्गा कहते हैं, Vargas.
Okay.
Think of a Varga as another chart. So
Okay.
all you have to do, हम जब राशि चार्ट पढ़ते हैं उसमें डिग्रीज होते हैं. So the planet is sitting at 5 degrees, 12 degrees. डिविजनल चार्ट में डिग्रीज नहीं होते.
Dignity.
Dignity is always taken from Rashi chart. It's just
Okay.
placement of planets in the house, उसके ऊपर analysis करना है. So to analyze the Rashi chart, step 1, look at the first house of the Rashi chart.
Okay.
वो ascendant होता है. हमने पहले भी कहा था कि राशि चार्ट में first house, first lord has to
That's
be
you.
strong. Same with divisional chart. अगर हम let's say पैसे की divisional chart देख रहे हैं तो look at the first house. If that is strong, you'll have money. If that is weak, you won't have money. Now we then go to the respective house. Second house for money. अब second house का lord देखिए, उस पे aspects क्या हैं, उसका कारक कहाँ है. That will now give you a better idea of how much money you will make, how you will use your money. So,
Right.
you know, like I gave you that example, किसी ने startup start की, but his Jupiter is debilitated in D10, he still started, he made a bad manager. So you have to understand कि it doesn't deny, it just gives you a little bit of up and down.
Right.
It gives you reputation stuff. अभी एक fall from grace होता है, where people suddenly, you know, executives go to jail because they do something wrong.
Yeah, they lose everything. Yes.
They lose everything. वो वर्गा में दिखता है, मेन चार्ट में नहीं दिखता.
Okay. So अब नक्षत्र की बात करते हैं. What is a नक्षत्र?
नक्षत्र,
जी.
तो नक्षत्र बहुत लोग कहते हैं नक्षत्र इंपॉर्टेंट है.
हाँ, सुना है लोग नक्षत्र में पैदा होते हैं, कुछ नक्षत्र पूजा करवाई जाती है. आई डोंट नो इफ नहीं करवाई जाए तो क्या नुकसान है, बट नक्षत्र इज वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट.
See, the moon goes around the earth.
हम्म.
And the moon, अगर हम moon की orbit को 27 parts में break कर दें, each part is 13 degrees and 20 minutes. That
Okay.
each zone of 13 degrees 20 minutes is called a nakshatra. There are 27 nakshatras. Each nakshatra is further divided into what we call a pada, quarter.
Okay.
So it is 27 times 4, which is 108 padas. अगर कोई planet अपने ही नक्षत्र में बैठा हो, it becomes strong for good or bad. If it is sitting in an enemy pada, it becomes slightly weak. Nakshatras are essentially for your personality. Nakshatra की importance twofold होती है. First, personality, and second, dasha system. Depending on where your moon was placed when you were born, वहां से आपकी life की दशा start होती है. I'm running moon dasha today. You could be born same year as me. You could be born same month as me. But if you're born a few days away, moon कोई और zodiac sign में होगा, and that will make it start with another dasha system.
Right.
Dasha means 120 years. That is the standard dasha system we use. So, जो moon है is very, very dominant in astrology. An astrologer should use nakshatra only. My opinion is use it more towards personality. Use it more towards planetary strength. उससे ज़्यादा you don't really have to get into nakshatra. Many people get into it and say बच्चे का नामकरण इस पे करेंगे.
जी.
नक्षत्र पे.
पूजा करवाना, नक्षत्र शांति, एंड लाइक दैट इज वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट. सो वो सब मिथ है या इट इज नीडेड?
Well, so many people call on this show. How many times have we asked their name?
Not. I don't. If they tell, it's okay. Otherwise, you don't ask.
Astrology में नाम का significance तो है ही नहीं.
जी.
So I don't know where this concept came from कि the name has to start with this from this nakshatra, this alphabet. Astrology में ऐसा कोई rule है ही नहीं.
ओ, नामाक्षर का कोई रूल ही नहीं है एस्ट्रोलॉजी में.
It's something we made. Original astrology में नहीं था.
Maybe
This
there were
leading-
too many choices. We just wanted to narrow down the options.
जैसे जैसे ओरिजिनल एस्ट्रोलॉजी में मंगल दोष की बात नहीं थी.
Hmm.
ओरिजिनल एस्ट्रोलॉजी में अष्टकूट मैचिंग विच इज जो गुण मिलते हैं
Shadi Kundali match.
वो
Yeah.
नहीं था. वो मैचिंग का कॉन्सेप्ट नहीं था ओरिजिनल एस्ट्रोलॉजी में.
Mhm.
Same way, Nakshatra mein there was no naming convention. It's just we felt it is better, it will bless us.
Okay.
But there is, for all the listeners, there is no one nakshatra which is better than the other. No, that is not true. Yes, but some nakshatras are more powerful for something else as opposed to the other. 27 nakshatra hain. Some people born in Revti could be more richer than others. Some could be more better looking than others. Some could have more fulfilling life than others. Some could have better health than others. वो तो है. That part I agree. नक्षत्र देता है. Don't weigh everything in life in terms of money. Weigh everything in terms of happiness. बहुत फर्क है. Money won't buy you happiness, but happiness can get you a lot in life. So nakshatra should be used as a primary source of planetary strength and dasha system. I think that is very important. We won't have time to cover more today.
Gee, we are just left with 1 more minute. So let's just wrap it up.
यही है कि, you know, this is a Thanksgiving weekend. People are going to start taking holiday on Thursday. You have Thursday, Wednesday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. So enjoy your holidays. Be safe. You know, ये साल कितनी जल्दी खत्म हो गया पता भी नहीं चला.
Right.
Right? It's another year of our life gone by. The world keeps moving. Nothing stops. And the right thing is you should also not stop. You should keep progressing in life, but take those short breaks. Give your body time to recharge. Give your mind time to recharge. Hopefully Thursday जब छुट्टी है, people can just sit back at home and spend some time with their family. Play, enjoy, settle down, and plan कि आगे लाइफ में क्या करना है. अगले साल कौन सी दशा आपकी स्टार्ट होगी, कौन से प्लैनेट एक्टिव होगा. Good to know all those things. And we are always here to help you if you need us.
And if you want to know more about yourself, आप saketbhatia.com वेबसाइट पे जा सकते हैं, अपनी डिटेल्स डाल सकते हैं और अपना बर्थ चार्ट बना सकते हैं. That'll be really interesting.
Exactly. It's a free birth chart. जाइए, बनाइए. You will come to know which dosh you have, which yog you have, and which dasha you're running. And then you can always contact us. We're here to help you.
Thank you so much for being on air with us. Thank you so much for that important reminder. And have a happy Thanksgiving.
You too, and to all the listeners, enjoy yourself. Happy Thanksgiving. We'll connect again next Tuesday. Bye-bye.